Okay, so I know it's been a while. I understand. It's been a minute. I haven't came to talk to you. I haven't came to record, or I haven't even filmed anything. But for today, we're going to talk about Felix Ever After, the first book of my little series that I'm doing. It's called The Library. Welcome to the library. We are a book club. Well, let me specify better. Let me give you a better intro. What's up, y'all? My name is Devin, and I am a student, activist, poet, artist, you name it. The wonders are there. And today I'm just really filming a smaller segment of the book I've been reading for the past couple weeks / month. The reason why I say month is because I've had this book since December, and my goal was to have the entire book done in January for the premise of it being a book club. But life happens, things happen, and I didn't get to record it. So we're gonna go here and record it straight from what I've been talking about this entire time. And as you've seen, I don't have mic still, so that's what we're doing today. So, Case and Calendar is a queer trans mask as well. That's what I've done my research on, and my phone has it here actually before I shoot myself in the butt. Hold on. Yes. So, welcome to my first installation of the library, where I'll be rebuilding my library one book at a time. This past week I went on a library day haul, and besides seeing endless of books that I want to be added to my library one day, there was one that stuck out to me the most. It was Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. Of course, you're probably asking, what's so special about this book, being the first book in the library? Well, let's start by breaking the social significance it has for myself. Since I would be reading this book the next couple of weeks, as a biracial trans queer man, it's beautiful to see a book that is, well, written when I was identifying who I am now. But let me tell you, it was a journey to figure out who I am, figure out my identity, figure out my intersectionality of all different things that are me. And this book, when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, you know, this is me. I'm being represented, you know? And it was nice to see that, and especially like in certain aspects, it was nice to be represented. So, let me tell you about this book, and let me tell you why it took so much time to wonder on what I was doing and what I've been doing it for. So, Casey Alexander is not only an author, but they are a Black queer trans author as well, which is why this book is so many other things than just that. Sorry, dog, bird passed by. It was beautiful. I'm outside recording for this reason that I wanted a natural light, I wanted natural ambiance, I wanted you to see things. So, let's get back to my script that I have wrote for this month, like almost a month ago. So, Case and Calendar is not only the author, but also they are a Black queer trans author, which is the reason that I brought to take this book and to have many more of this style or genre of books. I wanted the library now, with the rebuilding of my library, I wanted it to center focus queer, Black, and brown. I wanted to actually showcase that. I wanted to push that out. Because a lot of times it takes the, I'm making my big break. Once it happens. But also, it goes into retrospect about still pushing through, still going forward, even when you don't see the finish line, even when you don't see it. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm really only telling you about the first two chapters. I'm not even with the script. So, which is broad take that many have seen in other books, but their take on relationship with not just themselves, but the character as well, which is something that I'm looking for. The relationship character developmentation that I've seen so far, I've enjoyed it, honestly, and I've read already up to 10, 11 chapters of the book. No, I'm not a slow reader. No, I'm not this. I just have issues dedicating time to reading, so that's really what it was that it happened. So, with this one, authenticity, that is not just from a social group, but be digestible, that can all read along. This alone gives many people the ability to see themselves in this book of art, and that's where Felix Ever After is a book that is based on a 17-year-old that is in college, not college, in high school last year. They're about to graduate, everything are their focal point. two chapters of the book. Um, they're not bad. They're not. Were they quick reads? Yes. And what I mean by quick read is I was able to just sit this and not annotate that much. Like going back to annotate was the hardest thing I would say, just because I had to think about what were the moments that made me go, oh, made me laugh, made me do this. And I would say it was really the pushing, not even pushing, but the authenticity of the narrative that this queer, biracial, black, everything is queer. This is something that we have to discuss in our community goals, and I think that's really, I'm saying really a lot as a nervous show. I don't know. I would say the relationship between Felix and Ezra, we're going to just hop into now discussing chapter 1 and 2. Okay? Ezra and Felix, both our students are both underage, but the status of classism comes into play because Ezra is a part of the class system because his family is rich, part of the wealthy, everything like that, and Felix is not. Felix is part of the working class, so that type of mindset of like, you don't have to worry about this or that, like, I was like, okay. I'm not trying to give too much away of the next couple chapters because we're gonna break in 1 and 2. So I'm gonna just read actually the first sentence of chapter 1 and drop down below if this would have y'all engaged or even. I labeled this the first imagery that allowed me to paint the scene of the narrative. So we push open the apartment building. Oh no. We push open the apartment building's glass door. Out into the yellow sunshine that's a little too cheerful, right? It's hot as hell. The kind of heat that sticks to your skin, your hair, your flipping eyeballs. Christ. Why do we sign up for Ezra sex? It's so early. I could sleep. I could be. Wow. I could still be asleep. I mean, 11 isn't technically early. It's, about halfway through the day. I found this little part funny because I was like, that's an interaction I have with my partner all the time about my sleep schedule and how horrible it is and how I need to get my sleep schedule better and everything like that. Yes, I do. But this one was funny because it's just more so looking at a younger trans person, Edgar Shannon's tween. I was trying to think of what was the other word that we used to use back in the day. Tween, teen popper, all these things. 25. So I'm 25 and history was made yesterday. Let's just even go back into how this is important for black and brown communities, right? When I was transitioning in the beginning, there was no representation that was not white. If it wasn't white, it was Asian. If it wasn't Asian, it was just different in this sense. I didn't really see a lot of black and brown trans men, trans women. And so I started having to deep dive in so much, right? Being promoted is what I needed. Out there, being able to see this is why it's important because I literally was walking through the store trying to find it, couldn't find it until I had to Google what the book's name was or where it was or even to specify it down to I need a queer book about this and about that and then boom, it popped up. I was like, it shouldn't be that hard to find things. It shouldn't be that hard to look for things. And that's where it is at this point. So with these 2 chapters, I would say it's a lot of emotional growth. It's a lot of emotional stability that's being tested, but more so identity. More so, how do you identify yourself? How do you accept yourself? That's a big issue that I know I have personally. Because the person I see in marriage and the person that I see inside my head, right? Dysphoria, body dysmorphia, things like that plague the mind every day of teenagers and young adults and adults now that are transitioning. And this is where the book really, I enjoy seeing this that much is because of the description. Chapter 1 and part of chapter 2 gave a lot of descriptions of who is the character when it comes to physicality, when it comes to the thought process, when it comes to dialogue, when it comes to the background of the car. This is where I say chapter 1 is a fast read, but not in a fast read of how you think. It's more so a fast read to allow everyone really the ability of, hey, this is Ezra, this is Felix, this is Declan, this is this is that. Mind you, chapter 1 introduces all the characters. So we have Ezra with Declan, which was Ezra's ex that they used to date and everything, and now they're not. They used to be friends with both Felix and Ezra, so they were all a friendship group. Boom. Then you get Marisol, then you get Leah, then you get all these other. I would say Marisol isn't such a small character, but they are a pivotal character later in this later in the chapters, just because of their conflict. I was gonna say construct, but really, it's their thought process on being trans, being queer, right? And I'll even get a little spoiler, just a small spoiler. Ooh, phone almost went. See, never mind. I will not get the spoiler. My phone almost fell. The audio was cut, so we're not doing that anymore. See. Oh Lord, the audio did cut actually. Now, yeah. Which I can still. Before I finish this part. Okay, we'll get here, and then boom, get there. My battery about to die. That's amazing. Freaking amazing. Okay, so my battery's about to die. And with that being said, I have to put chapter 2 in a quick little print for you. Quick thing because my audio keeps getting so I mean that it's time for me to start the part and be too scared to say that. But chapter 2 is a emotional work. Reason why is because now we're getting into the story that is past us with Felix of why their mom is not around. Chapter 1 we were introduced with this slightly, and I enjoy how they built up the emotional despair when it comes to it that the mom left essentially both the mother eventually left both Felix and his dad, right? And divorce isn't easy. His childhood isn't easy. Being a parent isn't easy. Living isn't easy. But for you to lose your child and your husband, and mind you, there's little, and this is what I really enjoy about is that they will put in these little tiny anecdotes, or little tiny moments where it's literally Felix texting or emailing his mother, and it's an email that's never sent, or whatever, but he's emailing his mother every time, emailing her or whatever it is, and it's just like a diary, essentially. So the texting, the type of language you use, the code shift, the font that's used for it, it's beautiful. It's amazing because it allows collaboration of emotions. That is what you want throughout the book, and that's something that I feel like need more is emotional development. Not bam, we're hitting you one. I did appreciate being hit with all the characters in the first chapter. That was needed, but being hit with emotional despair, being hit with manipulation, being hit with a lot of different things that are going to make you sit there and wonder a little bit farther more than what you would think, kind of burns out people in the first chapters. And I really enjoyed this. That's why I was like, it's not a quick read because it's boring. It's not a quick read because it's easy. No, it's a quick read because it's understandable. It's something where everyone has lived this life once or twice or still living it. And that's something a lot of us don't realize is how we live and how we live in our day-to-day lives can affect others and can affect more. When I was reading Felix Ever After and I was going through the chapters, it was the one time I would say I was able to close my brain off and read for pleasure. I usually read for classes, I read for work, I read for assignments, but reading for pleasure, and that's why it took a while for me to do this video. That's why it took a while for me to read the book in general, because I wasn't being forced to. And everyone's like, well, why weren't you being forced to? You still need it for the YouTube. Yes, I know that. Because I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that it's funny to me how at 25, I am realizing so many things with just one book that I could have been doing for a while. And that's the funny thing about it. That's where I'm at with it. But the camera already finished. Just my audio. Thank you for tuning in, and I will check see. Oh, we're at 16. Okay, fuck it. Okay, never mind. We're at 16, so I can keep going. Now, my goal was to hit 20 minutes of recording for Felix. So now it's a chapter 2 because I was really thinking, oh no, the book is about, my stuff's about to end, So we're gonna go into, this is what I mean, okay? Right here in page 19. Hey mom, this is the 473rd email I have drafted to you. That's a lot. Is this kind of weird? Would you think I'm a freak writing you all these unsent messages for years and hoarding them in my drafts folder? I'm not going to send this one to you either. I already know you, and I already know that I won't. But maybe one day I can get the courage to actually write you an email. Hope you'll read it and wait by my laptop, constantly refreshing my Gmail to see if you'll respond. I don't know what the email would say. How are you? How's Florida? How's my stepsister and stepdad? Do you ever think about me? Do you still love me? Anyway, you know, I just started the summer program and I had a group project. Long story short, Declan Keen was there. I've told you about him before. It pissed me off like he always does. And this is where I'm going to end that little anecdote, right? So, I would just say with showcasing and just implementing that there is not a mother at home for all of this emotional whirlpool and about the emotional growth, it honestly gives more to the storyline. It gives more to the character development. It gives more to the character's background, because a lot of people, especially when it's a biracial household, whoever's not present in the household, I have this discussion all the time with my girlfriend when it comes to my nationality, my intersectionality, because I am biracial. I'm mixed with black and I'm mixed with Mexican. I say direct from Mexico, Hispanic technically, but my upbringing was in my Hispanic family, so I never really shown the black side. I was shown coexistence. I was shown diversity. I will give my mom a lot of credit on that. I was shown diversity with the schools I went to, with the schools I had to go to, with the area I was in, and being at this story about a 17-year-old that whose father is paid for everything. Her father is working multiple jobs. They're in the middle class, things like that. Having to develop who they are. It really put me back in perspective of how I was growing up in my time. Like, how was I when I was 17? Who was I when I was 17? What was my name back then? It was back then, it was Devin Kai, it was Devin Kai, and development for that to that is so different and vast. And that's the thing where I believe chapter 2, I know I'm not really getting into it, it's because I did not realize my camera was dying, but chapter 2 is just going into the basis of who is Felix in Ezra, but who is Felix transition-wise. It goes back into really just talking about who he is, why he is who he is, his scholarship merits, why he's going to Brown, why he is a black queer artist, how he follows all these different people, things like that, and who he follows. It really, chapter 2 doesn't have a lot of details in my perspective that are to be discussed, but more so to be heard and to be read. And it allows for a lot of things, as I'm reading through it, yeah, this one is really a lot of conversation between Felix and his father. That's what I'm noticing. And I read chapter 2 and I did my annotations for all kinds of these stuff. So please forgive me for part of that. And I was nervous starting this whole little thing. But a lot of this is really Felix talking to his dad. His dad not accepting him. His dad does accept him because he's had his surgeries in this chapter. He's already talked about the surgery, so he's talking about being open, things like that. But it's more so the father still developing, and you will see it again later on in the chapters that the dad is trying. He was trying, but it's hard for parents when they've had a child all their life to now be like, okay, this is this. Now, granted, it's different for everybody.